And good morning, Minecraft. This is Mr. Kassarian, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Modded Minecraft, episode 54. All right, what are we working on today? Good question. We're working on some recovery for our build over there. So what we're doing today is we're working on we're working on making sure that the working fluid that we have is going to work properly. It's going to be recovered and reprocessed and be usable. All right. So, yeah. So let's get some base panels. And let's get, like, a stack of them. Like that. Like that. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. I think 9's good. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So let's jump over to here. You can see we have a decent supply of ammonia in there, which means that this guy is all filled up. Awesome. That's what we were waiting on, and that's what we have done. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. All right. Now, underneath this thing, and I think it goes right here, but I'm not entirely certain. All right. So it starts here. Let's just dig our way over. And let's put that there. And let's put down the reservoirs. So the nice thing about this turbine is that by placing these reservoirs down, we can actually recover. How many more do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15. We can recover the ammonia that's been used to spin that turbine and repressurize it back into something usable. So into usable working fluid or coolant. All right. So that's why we went with the high pressure turbine, because let's go with another 64. Because with the low pressure turbine, the power output basically isn't steady enough to actually do anything really useful with it. It varies by enough that you need to be very careful. And what can happen is that because of the way Electrocraft works, it recalculates its input. It recalculates the entire network, basically, every time the input on any of its generators changes. That's a problem for us, of course, because if we're constantly changing our output, then we're having problems. And with a turbine, the output varies constantly. It's going to lag your world and cause some very, irritating side effects. So I think these should be good. Perfect. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get some more liquid pipes, okay? Because those are going to be very necessary for what we're going to be doing next, which is taking ammonia that comes out of there, which will be what's called low pressure ammonia, and then repressurizing it back into something usable, okay? So let's take a look at this. All right, we need some fluid pipes from, that's not what they're called. Liquid pipes. Thank you very much. And there we go. Liquid pipes. Let's get some more of those. And let's also find ourselves the other thing we're going to need, which is a pressurizer. This thing. Okay. We put that there. What else do we need for this? We need a compressor. So we need some gears. If you're getting the sense that we're having to craft a lot of gears for this, then that would be entirely correct. So we're going to look for pressurizer. And let's get this playing. Reverse and play. There we go. Sorry, I had to make sure that my timer was actually functioning and recording correctly. Okay, so pressurizer. We'll do that. We just need a shaft unit, and we should be all set. Now, the pressurizer, as far as I can tell in my test world, will basically run no matter what. All right, so it's complicated, but basically you don't need to really worry about the pressurizer overly much. All right, so now we could put the pressurizer up here, which I think is probably our better idea. So if we take a look in not that pouch, but we open this guy up and we take a look in our reactor craft handbook. And we open this up. We should see under, is it under processing or utility? Fission. No. Sometimes how this is organized makes some amount of sense. Pressurizer. The pressurizer represents low pressure water ammonia so that it can be reused in a reactor, thus completing this centrifugal compressor. So liquid input comes in the top, liquid output comes out the bottom. It needs 16,384 watts. Okay, so it needs 16 kilowatts. So let's look at what engines we have that can provide 16,384 kilowatts. Well, we can get a steam engine that provides exactly that. Would you look at that? Okay, now what does this guy require? Minimum torque, 1.024 kilonewton meters. Okay, so if we get 4 of them, right? 4 of them together is going to give me 128. 128, 256 is 2. 512 would be 4. 8. So we need an 8 gear ratio, right? 4, 5, 12. 8. So 4 of them on an 8 gear ratio. Okay, well, we can do that. That shouldn't be too difficult for us to do. We could also power it directly from that system, but I think I'd like having it be a little bit more independent, all right? That seems like having an independent repressurizer seems like a better idea for a whole variety of reasons, including not having the reactor blow up because it runs itself out of power. So let's take a look at getting ourselves some steam engines. We need some more shaft units. Oh, and we need another impeller. Okay. And let's go back to steam engine. And ba-dumph, and 4. Awesome. Now, how much netherrack do I have? Enough. And I also want some pressurized fluid conduit. Beautiful. Now, the pressurized fluid conduit we're just going to use for our steam engines. That seems like a decent enough idea to me. It doesn't really, we don't need that much power. All right, so we'll put our steam engines down here. And so let's get our netherrack out. Let's go 1, 2, 3. And we'll go here for 4. Hopefully we have enough of this stuff. So the steam engines sit here. And we can go over. And of course we need more of it. Of course. Nothing ever is quite as simple as I think it's going to be. So let's see here. Steam. We need pressurized fluid conduits. 16 should be plenty. And we can just run this over the top. Like that. And let's get our Yeta wrench out. And let's just swap this guy over. Good. And now we can connect these. And then hook up our 4 steam engines. And hopefully this will be able to keep up. Hopefully. So let's throw our torch down there. And let's break this up a little bit. These guys should have at least some fuel in all of them. Good. Okay. So now we can start heating them up with our lovely flint and steel. Bingo. All right. So those will heat up, and then we just need some bevel gears and shaft junctions, which I may have laying around. I don't have any shaft junctions, apparently. And we need some gears, too. Oh, I already have an 8-to-1 laying around. Ha! Well, that was handy. All right. Very rarely does it work out that way. Good. All right. So let's get all of this stuff down into our hotbar where we're actually going to use it. And let's get our bag back out. And let's put some of this junk away. And we also are going to want our screwdriver and our angular transducer. Awesome. Okay. So now we put our bevel gears down. Put one there, one there. Easier way to do this, honestly. Don't go into the fire. Thank you. Easier way to do this, I think, is going to be... does that leave you enough space? Yeah, I'm going to have to do it this way then. All right, so we'll just go bevel gear. Junction, junction, junction. And let's flip this guy a little bit. Thank you. And check you. Black to magenta. There we go. Another bevel gear. Black to blue. And we can throw our pressurizer on the top. Beautiful. Then it's just a matter of taking some of this liquid pipe. Let me double check which way the outputs are on this thing. Power gen, pressurizer. Liquid input top, output sides. Okay. And we'll have that connect over directly. Good. On this side, we'll go... Now, of course, I have to do some interesting things here. So I need to get out to... all the way down here. 1527 by 1523. Okay. So let's see. And of course, there's an empty space here. So let's go like this. And of course, I forgot that. All right. And it's getting a little dark in here, too. Nope. Perfect. And then we could just run this guy. We may have to connect a pump to this, however, because this is running for such a long distance. Yeah, I'm thinking we're going to have to connect a pump to this as well, which is a little unfortunate. Because the other thing here is that we need to move this out a step. So let's go with our bedrock. Where'd you go? There you go. Bedrock 8 to 1, and then a bevel gear, black to blue, once more, black to blue, and we can put our pressurizer back on top. Boom. Okay, and he likes the power he's getting. Good. So then output side, we have to do that. Input top, and we just need more fluid pipes. And of course, this room's going to be a pain in the neck to maneuver through, but there isn't much we can do about that. All right, so let's go with liquid pipe. Thank you. Oh, we need some more glass. Right. And of course, it's going to take forever because it's actually a processing step, which means that all the stuff we've been doing to speed it up isn't going to help much. So we'll just get a full stack of this. There's really no reason for us not to. Okay, liquid pipe. Awesome. Now, the issue is going to be whether the low-pressure ammonia is actually going to make it all the way back. which is a valid and important concern, because if it doesn't, we are going to end up in some trouble. So we'll just run this over and connect that. Perfect. And we'll hook that like that. And we'll just dig an access tunnel that runs right alongside of it. Now, the good thing is I do think I have a pump laying around and the machines I need to run it. So that shouldn't be too difficult for me to do. So this guy's now running. That's good. All right. So now it's time for the next step of this, which is hooking up the steam. All right. And that's going to require us to produce a bunch of these steam lines. Okay. And that's going to require us to have a bunch of wool to do that with. Now, the question is how much wool I actually have available. Plenty. Let's go with plenty. Okay. So let's look up steam line. And that just got us 45 of it, which may be enough to hook up the reactor. Now, the steam line is what's actually going to carry the steam from the reactor into that high-pressure turbine, okay? So the high-pressure turbine is located on this line right there, okay? So we can connect all of these. And don't worry about routing. The steam lines can hold basically an infinite amount of steam. So we don't really need to worry about how much steam is passing through each line. Our main concern is going to be getting it out of the reactor chamber without causing any issues. And also doing it in a vaguely cosmetically appealing way. So we'll do that. We'll do that. I'm sorry if this is a little dark. Let me light this place up just a little bit. There we go. We'll do that. Like that. That. And we'll do the same thing over here. Like that and like that. So these should now all be connected. Let's hook these guys up, and we're out of steam lines. Would you look at that? Yeah, look at how quickly we just ran out of steam lines. Just poof, we're done. Yeah. So let's charge back over to here. And let's see. Okay, so it's liquid. It's the liquid pipes that we're low on. So let's do this. And let's go back for steam line. And we get 63 of them. All right. That should be enough to connect the last of this. Now, the important thing to remember is if any part of this coolant process breaks down, we're in serious trouble. All right? Serious, serious trouble. So we'll have it exit right there. Okay. And then we need to go from over here. And we need to go like this and connect it into the back of that steam line, which is what we initially placed to start our high pressure turbine. And we'll just run it in like this. Okay, so now that is connected. Theoretically, we could start our high pressure turbine now. We could start up the reactor and start the high pressure turbine. We are not going to, however, for several important reasons, all right? If I could figure out how to jump in this game again. There we go. One of those reasons is that the high-pressure steam turbine needs lubricant. Yeah, lubricant. I know. Great. Now we have a bit more of that, so I think we can throw this on. And all that will start running again. Good. So let's take a look at what we need to do here. We still need to get uranium into this power plant, all right? And we need to figure out a decent way of doing that doesn't break half of the systems we have available. I think our best bet for this is probably going to be Ender IO, now that I think of it. That'll probably be our best bet. Yeah, I'm thinking Ender IO for this. Yeah, so let's look up item conduits here. Let's see how many we have. All right, we don't have too many. How many more can I make? Not that many. Pulsating iron. All right, pulsating iron. Can we make another 4 of these? Yeah, we can. All right, but this will at least get us started. The other thing we're going to want is our golden bag, and we want our memory. No, we want the conduit probe. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and manage this as simply as we can, all right? And I'm hoping that as simply as we can works out well for us. So if we jump over to here and get onto the reactor, and what we're going to do is we're just going to place item conduits down on these things, on the actual fuel cores. Just like that, all right? And then we're going to connect them. Like that. And like this. And then we'll connect right across the middle. Am I still lower than... Oh, that's a problem. I was going to put a glass layer over the top of this thing, but I don't think that's going to happen now. All right, so we'll have that layer be 1 up then. That's not a huge disaster, at least. All right, so let me get this put together, and I will come back once it's ready to go. All right, so here's what we're going to be doing without too much ado here. So we have this little ME chest, connected quartz fiber cable. You can see how this works. Yeah, okay. To an interface. That interface has a crafting card in it, and what that crafting card is going to let us do is some fun stuff. All right, fun stuff. Let's go with fun stuff. So the first thing we're going to want to get is something to protect ourselves while we're working on this, and for that we need a hazmat suit. All right, we need radiation shielding fabric. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need 5, 8. All right, well, let's just start crafting, shall we? Now, we need depleted uranium for this, okay? And the way to get depleted uranium is by taking some of this stuff and mixing it all together. Okay, so we can now get ourselves some radiation shielding fabric. Let's just get a bunch of it so we can get the helmet, the chest piece, the leggings, and we need about 3 more of it. So let's go up, and we're out of that. So we need to go depleted uranium, and we need about 3 more of this to get ourselves the boots. All right, and we got ourselves the boots. Hazmat suits, yay. Okay, let's go run upstairs because we need to encode something into our ME system while we're up here. And I'll go up to the top floor. What we need to encode is to tell our system how to make, clear all that, is to take uranium, enriched uranium dust, and combine it to get uranium fuel pellets, okay? And we're going to load that into our crafting manager right there. All right. So what I want to avoid is actually handling a lot of this depleted uranium, enriched uranium myself, and especially handling it anywhere close to any systems that might hurt me or be hurt by it. Basically, I don't want to radiate my entire base. Shiny in a hazmat suit. All right. So one of the things I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take this crafting terminal off, and I'm going to connect it right over to here. Okay? I'm going to hook it in right there. You can't be missing a channel. There you go. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some uranium. All right, we're going to get 16 of it. And then we're going to tell this guy that he wants to keep 16 stored in here at all times. And so he's going to craft it automatically, all right? Now what we want to do down here is much the same, okay? We want to take those fuel pellets, and I think this will work. Oopsies. Not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Yeah, so it's not doing what I wanted it to. All right, that's fine. So the easiest thing to do in that case is to change up the way this is working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect this. Yoink. And yoink. And I'm going to run this connector up to here. And what I'm going to do before I do anything else is configure this thing properly. So we're going to put it on in-out. On insert mode, it'll be brown. Or no, it's just going to be pure extraction. All right. Extract green, active with signal. And this one's going to be insert on brown. Okay. So we should be able to connect these. Active with signal. Good. Nothing should start running yet. We shouldn't have any heat in the reactor. Not that it would be doing anything because all our fuel rods are still locked down, which is exactly where we want them. Because I don't think we're ready to actually run this thing right. I can't jump that high. I'm like, why can't I do that? Oh, right. I'm wearing a hazmat suit. Which is a good thing because I'm right now wandering around deplete with enriched uranium fuel pellets. Well, I put that back in there, and we can switch back to something that's a little bit more comfortable. Standard armor and all being a bit more comfortable than a full-on hazmat moon suit. However, for right now, we're just going to stow our moon suit in our golden bag of holding. There we go. So now it's set up, and what's going on down below this thing is if you look all the way down there, you can see that there are more of these Ender IO conduits. They're hooked up to the bottom of those fuel units. So they're going to be pulling nuclear waste out of the fuel unit and dumping it into here, which should go into the ME chest. All right. So that should be that. What else do we need for this reactor? I mean, we're not doing much else. We're almost ready for power up. The thing we do need is we need to get power into this guy, okay? Which is a little bit complicated. Especially because of the way I've arranged all this junk. Huh. Yeah, that is going to be a little complicated, isn't it? Well, what we can do is we can remove all this. And we can plug it in over the top, I think. We can get down here. And I can remove that. And if I take out my screwdriver, it's not telling me which way it wants to accept power from. So the trick with that and accepting power is that it needs a certain amount of power per control rod that it's equipped with. Okay? So if we check out under the Reactor Craft Handbook, we can see under, not under HTGR, it's under Fission. Central Control. 1,024 watts per control rod. So we need, all right, let's take a good long look at this. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need 8, a little about, let's say 9 kilowatts of power. All right, so let's look at engines that we have that can provide that. I need 9 kilowatts of power. A steam engine should be able to support this. Okay, a steam engine. Now, I question the wisdom of running this on a steam engine, but I think if we can, why not, you know? Yeah, let's have a steam engine right next to our nuclear power plant. Well, technically a nuclear power plant is just a giant, dangerous steam engine. That's literally what they are. They are big steam engines. Yeah. Big steam turbine engines. Oh, right, it's all over here. I forgot I moved that thing. All right, so let's get that hooked up. And then we can test to see if our reactor actually wants to function or not. So let's take a look at steam engine. What do I need? All right, so I need another condenser, and I need some more liquid pipes. Condenser. Boom. Impeller. Boom. And that gives us a steam engine. Boom. All right, then let's get ourselves a... Oh, gosh, what do I want here? I want a... Do I have any more aqueous accumulators? Hey, look, I do. All right, so we got ourselves an aqueous accumulator, and then I need what else? I need a... We need some pressurized... I should already have that. Yes, I do. And I also want some netherrack. A single piece should do the trick. And I also want some shaft units. You know what? I think steel shaft units should be just fine for this, to be honest with you. I mean, we're not moving that much power, so it's not like we have to really worry about much. Let's make some mounts. Let's make some steel shafts. Let's make 2 crafts of it. There's really no use in using those bedrock shafts unless I have to, so whatever. And then we need to do this. Right. We need to find ourselves some buckets, which I should have in my golden bag of holding. And that's my timer is out for the episode. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to break that up. And then I'm going to do something kind of cheaty. I'm going to remove that. And I'm going to put them here and then here. I'm going to pick that up, and then I'm going to pick the other one up. And I'm going to put this back over here. Put that back there, and now we just have to put this back here. Awesome. Okay, so now if I just grab, not swim, I want to grab 1 and 2. And let's charge down into our reactor, shall we? So the reactor core, central control's here. So what we want to do is we want to take a bevel gear, right? And we want to slap him on the side. So that's magenta, right? Yeah, I think that's how it works. And then we'll put our steel shaft units down like this. And then we'll have a bevel gear here, blacked up. Okay. And then we'll just chuck down our steam engine right there. And then what we can do here is put our netherrack down, give him a good ignition source, come back to here, go like that, and then like that, and then fill them both up. And we had an aqueous accumulator, I believe. We'll plop him there, break this guy, and I know I had some. I saw it maybe 5 seconds ago. I know I had some. There we go. I'm like, I know I did. We fill that up, and then we just start the process of getting these guys all hooked up in the right direction. There we go, and there we go. So as soon as this guy heats up completely, that should start the reactor control unit going. They do make a nice sound, though. Now, what this will also do is if this loses power for whatever reason, it'll actually automatically scram the reactor. So we don't really have to worry about that, at least. Now, let's get down here and see how this is going. Power yet? 96, 97, 98, 99. We have power. Good. And thankfully, we don't have to worry too much about this thing deciding to stop working. We can always add up to 3 more of them. Oh, good. All right. Retract all the cores. Good. All right, we have control. Insert everything. Good. Good, good, good. Now watch what happens if I take this guy and I set his input down, output. Hear that thunk? Right. So what just happened there was that it lost power. So it turned off all the control rods. It basically scrammed the reactor and shut down everything. All right. So I think that sums up this episode. I think in the next episode, we're ready to turn... Oh, no, we're not. We need more lubricant. We need to provide this guy with lubricant. Ha. All right, so in the next episode, we'll deal with that, and we may be able to actually turn this entire reactor on for the first time and harvest the limitless power of the atomic age. Ha, ha, ha. Okay. I'm done being a mad scientist for today. Anyways, guys, this has been Mr. Kassarian. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, like, comment, subscribe. Just let me know you're out there. I'll see you guys in episode 55, and until then, guys, happy mining.